Hello, my friend. I'm Akhilesh Prasad, and today I will be discussing about how to make portfolio consisting in assets. Previously, in the last tutorial, in the last lecture, we have seen how we can deal with two risky assets, and in this lecture, will discuss when we have more than two risky assets. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with the take a special case when you have n risky assets including one risk free assets. Let's start with one risky assets, one risky assets, sorry, I'm so sorry, one risk free assets, and the all others are risky assets. Okay, so there will be a certain terms because when we have more than two risky assets, we will be doing with the matrix, all the calculation is be in the matrix form because you might have 10 assets, 3 assets, 15 assets. Okay. So the covariance matrix, this is the representation of this is sigma is the covariance matrix is represented by n by n. This is a square matrix, n by n a square matrix. Uh, the diagonal terms, the diagonal terms are the variances, okay, and the rest are covariance. So this you can take the variance covariance matrix or just a covariance matrix. Okay, and the covariance term is something like this: correlation multiplied by the standard deviation of both the assets. Okay, this is the a square matrix and the covariance matrix. Furthermore, weight of each assets, weight of each assets is the vector. This is the vector. This is the weight of n risky assets. Okay, and this is the return of n risky assets. Okay, this is returns of the n risky assets, and this one is the unit vector. The one here is represent the unit vector, the one in the bold. Okay, so all that we will use while doing the computation. Okay, once we have defined this all the basic matrix, the portfolio return is multiplied by this, the transpose either mu or u, one have to be in the transpose and other one is the vector form, is something like then when we have transpose of the of the return of individual assets multiplied by the weight in this format. Okay, so when we'll multiplies, we'll get a scalar. Okay, and the representation here you can see 1 into n. The first one is the row, indicate row subscript, and the second one is the column subscripts. Take a when you multiply the row, how many is this? N into 1, and this is okay, sorry, 1 minute. How many row? Row is just 1, 1 into n matrix, this one, and this is n into 1. When you multiply this, you will get 1 by 1 matrix. I mean, just a scalar. And this is the portfolio return. So in the matrix notation, you can write mu p is the return on the portfolio is equal to mu transpose into W. Mu is the return on individual assets. Okay, let's move ahead. Some more matrix notation which we need. So, so we can have this one as we have already seen. This is the variance matrix, variance covariance matrix. You can decompose this into S transpose or S, or this one. Let's have, this is the standard deviation matrix, and this is the standard deviation in the matrix form. This is the vector form, and this is the matrix form. This is the only on the diagonal element is there, and the correlation among assets is this matrix. Okay, so when we will multiply S transpose R S, see the transpose, S transpose equal to S because of a square matrix, and the element is because of symmetry. The transpose of S is S, the way it is there. Okay. Uh, so S transpose or S, or in other words as S transpose equal to S, SRS. This is the covariance matrix. So when you have given the individual assets standard deviation in a matrix form has given, and this is in, and the correlation matrix is given, so you can find covariance matrix. Okay. Yes. So let's now consider a risk-free asset, and the risk-free asset has weight W naught, W naught plus the weight of all other asset W1 plus W2 and so on equal to 1. So W transpose into 1 is the vector. When you multiply, you give a scalar, and that 1 minus this, 1 minus this, 1 minus this term will become W naught. Okay. W is, it is the weight on the risk free asset. 1, this one is a scalar, just 1, this is also a scalar. W transpose the matrix form, also this is in the matrix form. Okay. 1 in the bold, the vector, the column, just I'm saying vector, or just will say matrix in the column form. Okay, now the return on the portfolio, as we have already seen, return on the risky assets and the return on the risk free asset, return on the risky asset and return on the risk free asset. Okay. And W mu transpose W is there, and you can substitute mu W naught from here. Okay, let's substitute W naught is equal to 1 minus, so either way you can write W transpose 1 or 1 transpose W, both are same thing, you will get one a scalar value. So here R into 1 minus 1 transpose W. Okay. So let's simplify it further. R plus, you can just put together mu transpose W and 1 transpose W. You can have R plus mu minus R1 and then transpose to T. So mu is the matrix and R is the matrix form. Well, subtract and then take transpose multiplied by this W vector. Okay, so the return on the portfolio you can write in this fashion. Now, as as we know, while constructing the efficient frontier and the portfolio, by the definition this is given by the Markowitz, either you can minimize the variance or maximize the return. Okay, so you have given two terms. One is the variance term and another is the returns term. Okay, so let's construct a Lagrangian function. Okay, so variance term, half into variance term plus lambda into the return, what we have, mu p is equal to this term. Thus mu p minus this becomes 0. So lambda into this term. I'm just talking about this term. The value of this term is 0 from this one. Okay. So here we have constructed the Lagrangian multiplier. There is a way to optimize the value using Lagrangian multiplier. The lambda here is the Lagrangian multiplier. Okay. So let's take the derivative. Here we are going to what we are, one more thing here in the variance term, half is multiplied. Half is either you put or doesn't put, doesn't matter. Half is because the variance term we have already seen, but is w1 square sigma square, when and the all other things, all other term, when you differentiate you will get 2w1. This is constant, and when you differentiate w1 square, 2w1, to cancel out 2 and 2, just to multiply by half and nothing else. So half into this variance plus lambda into the mu minus this term. Okay, this is the way you can construct the Lagrangian function. Once we have the Lagrangian function, take partial derivative with respect to vector w. Okay, so we'll differentiate with respect to w. When you differentiate it, here we have all the variance covariance term in this one. So 2w1 and 2 cancel out from this 1 upon 2. So here the term is with 2w1 and then sigma square. So when you will manually, you can try in the matrix form, it would be W transpose covariance matrix. When you differentiate it, whether you can do in the term or just in the matrix format. Okay, and differentiate this one. Lambda is constant, mu is constant, this becomes 0. R is constant because it is given, this becomes 0. And this is all the constant, and w, when you differentiate w, it become 1. So lambda into this minus term, this minus term, this minus terms comes here, this is minus, then lambda is constant into mu minus r1 transpose, and this is becomes 1 when you differentiate w with respect to w, 1. So finally we have this term after differentiating with w. So here we got the first derivative and we'll put first derivative to 0 to get the optimal value. Here the idea is to minimize the variance. Okay, the idea is to minimize the variance. Okay, so here we'll put this is equal to 0. For optimal rate, put first derivative is 0. When you put this value to 0, okay, this value to 0, so you'll get W transpose is equal to lambda into mu minus R1 transpose and sigma inverse. You can find the inverse of the matrix. There is a number of way you can find the inverse of matrix. So W transpose equal to this is the W transpose is this. When you remove the transpose on the one side, you will do the transpose on the other side. Okay, transpose of the matrix. So lambda into E inverse, the transpose from this will vanish. Okay, this term T. So W is equal to the optimal weight. Optimal weight is now is given by this formula. This is the optimal weight. Okay, when you differentiate further, which one? This one. Sigma 2L upon, sorry, del 2L upon del W square. This become how much? This just a sigma term will be left. And this is the covariance. Covariance is always covariance matrix, and the covariance is always positive. When the second derivative is greater than 0, the optimal value which we reached is for minimal condition. Means that W, the value of W is this one for L to be minimum. And this is what we are doing. And now we already have return on portfolio, this formula. So here you can substitute W, the optimal weight what we have get. Just substitute W is equal to in this formula. Okay. So mu P is equal to R plus mu minus R1 transpose lambda into, we have just W substituted W over here. So here you can get lambda equal to this one. So we have find out what is the optimal weight, what is the W, optimal weight W and the Lagrangian multiplier. So we will finally substitute lambda into the optimal weight, this one. Okay, we'll substitute this into this formula and we'll get W, the optimal weight is finally in this format. So here we have the return, what the return on the portfolio, what the return we want to achieve. Okay, return on the portfolio, and the return or a small r is the return on risk free asset. So and mu is the return on the individual asset. So given return on the individual asset and what the return we want over our portfolio, we can get the optimal distribution. Okay, we can get the optimal distribution given the risk free asset. One asset is the risk free asset. Okay, let's move ahead. Yeah, as we have already seen here, when you do the second derivative, you will have just sigma term, and this is greater than 0. The second derivative is positive, so that is the optimal, mm, mm, the given equation to be minimum. Okay, so the one which I have shown you, this is the one of the a special case, and this is very easy to depict. Okay, that's why we choose the special case consisting one risk free asset. Okay, now let's check a general case. We have just n number of risky assets. Okay, n number of risky assets. So according to our assumption, we are going to minimize the variance for given return. Okay, so we have two equations given, this one, and we have to minimize the variance. This is the one which we did just before, but here we are not considering risk free asset. Okay, thus we are taking the general case. So here we have two condition, this one, here I have this one, this condition, and take in this format. This is also you can do without substituting W into this one, you can take it separately. So Lagrangian function This is the variance term, and this is the return term, and this is the weight. Okay. So alpha and beta here is the Lagrangian multipliers, and you can optimize this value the way the Lagrangian function teaches you. So here again we'll differentiate with respect to w. When we differentiate with respect to w, this term becomes w into sigma. Okay. And from this term the mu p is constant, comes 0. And here when we differentiate this w, it just mu will be left, because we are differentiating with respect to w. Okay. So minus alpha mu, similarly from here, minus beta into 1. 1 is the unit matrix, column matrix. Okay. Is something like 1 1 1 for 4 assets, like this. This is the unit matrix. Okay. So after doing derivative with respect to w, we have this equation, and we'll put w is this equal to 0 to get the optimal function, optimal parameter. Here is the w is the parameter. So the w, the weight, is equal to this. And furthermore, you can doing one more times derivative, this is greater than 0, means the for L to be minimum, the value of w should be this. So here you need to eliminate alpha and beta from this equation. Okay. Need to remove alpha and beta from w is equal to sigma inverse alpha mu minus beta 1. So here alpha beta, we need to eliminate alpha beta. So with the help of this equation and the other two equation, the return term mu p is equal to w transpose mu. See, w is equal to, we can put into this, we'll have one equation, and we'll put w is equal to in w transpose 1 is equal to 1. Okay. Here we also put this value. So we have two equation, two unknown. You can find alpha and beta. So currently you can construct a portfolio of more than 2 assets. Okay. And after doing so, you can find the minimum variance portfolio the way we did for the 2 assets, and all other whatever type of construction optimization further you can do it after constructing the mean variance frontier. In the future lecture, I will also show you the Python implementation on how you can actually do this with the help of Python. Okay, all the portfolio mean variance frontier optimization, etc., will show you with the help of Python. So that the end of the lecture, when you have any comments, suggestions, you have any question, you can write on the comment section. I shall be happy to answer you. Thanks for listening my lecture.